Diane. Today we're going to go back to the basics of quilt making and review the steps to construct a quality quilt top that you will be proud to display in your home for years to come. Come along and let's get busy quilting. The first thing we need to determine is what type of quilt we're going to make. You can have decorator quilts that either decorate your home or keep you warm at night on the bed, or maybe you hang them on the wall for decoration, but they're meant to be laundered and used. You also have art quilts which may have buttons, beads, ribbons, things of that nature on them, and it makes it difficult to launder them. So we want to determine what type of quilt we're going to make before we get started. For today's show, we're going to stay with a regular quilt like you would use in your home to decorate or stay warm in the bed. Today we have a wide variety of fabrics available to us when we go to the fabric store. However, for this purpose, we're going to discuss just the ones that are usually used in quilts. The first one is 100% cotton. You want a good quality material that's 100% cotton with no stains, tears, holes, rips. You need to check it over. Sometimes stores will put things on the discount rack, and there's a reason it's on the discount rack many times. So be careful that you do not get home and find that you have a piece of material with a streak down the middle of it or a hole in it after you've made your quilt. The next type we want to talk about is a cotton blend. It's a lot flimsier feeling. It will not act the same in the quilt as the 100% cotton. You do not want to combine the two in the same quilt. If you start with 100% cotton in your quilt, stay with 100% cotton. If you want to make something out of this, that's fine, but stay with this type of material. The next one is flannel, and I don't know why I wound up with this flannel. It must have been on the discount rack. I haven't found out what to use it for yet. Flannel is fuzzier and it's a little bit heavy. Some flannels will stretch as you stitch them, as you quilt them and stitch them, and they're a little difficult for the beginner to use, so be careful of flannel. They are nice to go on the back of baby quilts. However, over time with rubbing and usage, you can get those little peels like on a sweater, and that can ruin the back of the quilt over the years. But if you like the nice soft texture for the baby, that's a nice backing. The next material that we're going to talk about is fleece. Now fleece is very stretchy, so you have to be very careful with it. You really would not want to make a quilt out of fleece. You might back the quilt with fleece. And just with the flannel, over years of usage, it may make little peels on it, or it may pick up lint easier, but it does make a nice backing for a baby quilt. I have taken fleece panels and layered them with a lightweight batting and then on a muslin backing and quilted them together, and you get the feeling of the fleece on the top, but the stability of the cotton on the back, and it makes a nice baby quilt. You also have novelty fabrics that they may be very pretty when you see them, and you want to use them in something, but don't use them in something that has to be laundered. I made a Christmas tree skirt out of several materials, and this one was included. And the first time that I laundered it and I took it out of the dryer, where this material had been, there was no material left. It was fringe. And I had to redo those sections of that Christmas tree skirt. So make sure when you get a material that it is a good quality. And as I said, I recommend 100% cotton. After you learn the basics of quilt making, if you want to go out into these other areas and try different things, that is the time to do it after you have some experience. As a review, we want to go over the types of material that we need today for our quilt that we're going to stay warm under this winter. We want 100% cotton. It can be any color. Be careful of very dark colors. They may bleed a little bit. But we want 100% good quality cotton material. We do not want any holes, tears, or stains in this material. Be careful of older material. A lot of people will go and pull materials out of the closet that have been there for years, or someone gives you material to get rid of it. And you start to use it, and when you get it done, you find out that some dry rot has set in and your quilt is falling apart. So be careful of older material. Really check your material well. You're going to put a lot of work into this quilt top, and you want it to last for years. Stay with the same type material. If it's 100% cotton, we want to stay with the 100% cotton. As I said before, I do not recommend denim for a beginner quilt unless it's some small kit that you get that has the squares with the fringe on the outside. You do not want to deal with those bulky seams and the heaviness at first. And flannel, as beautiful and soft as it is, it does stretch sometimes and it can be difficult to work with. So we want to stay with 100% cotton.